My name is Debbie Skirdo. I'm representing the Board of Trustees, and I welcome everybody here to Monte Vista Unitarian Universalist Congregation. Hi also to any of you folks Zooming, and for those who will be watching the recording later. Our announcements today, I'll start with what's happening today besides our service. We will have a shortened, abbreviated coffee time afterwards. We need to clear the patio by noon because we have to set up for our service, our memorial service for a dear, dear member, Vasudev. His family is going to be starting to come and bring their food for the service and reception, probably around 1. So we have a very short window of time to have our get-together, come out, and start over, okay? So please work with us. We will have the Founders Room open with air on and water in there for you if you need to stay. If you want to stay, then there's a cooler place to be. So that will start, the service for him will start at 2, and we hope everybody can come to that too. Also, this Thursday of this week, choir rehearsals will start. So those of you that are going to sing with us, please come, because we're singing that very Sunday. We're singing for the in-gathering on the 31st. So we will be practicing those songs for that time. Also, there is an announcement in the connections that states that there is a new task force being assembled. It is labeled as the Community Task Force. It's actually membership and community outreach. And we are trying to recruit people from the area that don't know we're here and that don't know that we have something wonderful to share. So if you're interested, give me your name and I will contact you as the team gets going. Very important. And then 2 super important things that are going to take place in 2 weeks. Number 1, you got an announcement, email announcement regarding the congregational meeting. We need to have that in 2 weeks, which is the 7th. We do need to discuss how we are going to proceed in making sure that we can get the school open as soon as possible. The fire inspectors and marshals are saying we need other things added that we weren't anywhere near prepared for. So we have started all that, but it's going to cost money. So please, please, please come to that after the service on the 7th. And then right after that, we will be having our Love and Laughter Luncheon number 7, which is our back to school bingo luncheon. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll get it started as soon as we possibly can. So it's a big day. Also, on October 5th, we're going to be blessed by a concert by Lily and Maggie Worsley on the clarinet and April Fussell singing. So that's going to be beautiful. That'll be the 5th. It'll be right after service, and we will be taking donations. It is a fundraiser, and it'll be wonderful. Then on the 18th is our second larger fundraiser. I think we're calling it the Fall Fundraising Fest. There will be many littler things to buy, craft items, knitwear, things like that. Also food. We will have baked goods, and we're having live auction with a wonderful trip that has been donated to us. I'm going to save that for the announcements, other announcements. And also some silent auction things, so you can present a service if you would like to for that on the 18th. It's going to be on a Saturday at 2 p.m., so an afternoon, so people don't have to worry about getting home in the dark, etc. Okay, also there have been reports out that our non-friend, the COVID folks, are starting to come back. So if you are wanting a mask now or for the next service, I brought several different ones back there that you're welcome to take. Please, please read your community connections every Thursday. There's always lots and lots of information in there, and usually has everybody you can contact if you have a question. Okay, let's see. Then we also, for the fest, we have these forms back on the other table. if you are going to donate a craft or a baked good or jelly or candles or whatever you might want to prepare and make and donate, this is the form we're asking you to fill out. There will be other information soon. Okay, and did I say everything? I think so. Now I'm very pleased to announce two wonderful ladies who are going to share some more exciting news with you. So if I may have the fabulous Pettit ladies come up, Betsy and Becky. Thank you so much.
Hi, Nurse Betsy. My teacher sent me to the nurse's office. I just don't feel well. Ever since coming back to school, I'm tired. My backpack's too heavy. There's too much going on. I just don't feel well. Can you help me?
Oh, Becky, I'm so sorry. You know what? I think you have a case of the back-to-school blues.
Oh, what can we do?
Well, there's definitely one thing I can think of. Over at MVUUC on Sunday, September 7 at 12 noon, we're going to have a back-to-school lunch.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a back-to-school and bingo lunch.
I do like bingo. Are there going to be prizes?
Huh, you bet there's going to be prizes.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, yeah. And we're going to have a really good lunch. Better than the lunch ladies have served.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah. There'll be delicious, it's a delicious sandwich bar with all kinds of sandwiches and all of and mac and cheese, and we're going to have root beer and orange soda floats and cookies and Rice Krispie bars. And I heard that are you vegan?
I am, yeah.
Oh, well, there's going to be vegan Rice Krispie
good.
bars too, yeah. And there's going to be great drinks for kids like you.
What about for my mom? She likes adult drinks?
She does indeed, I've heard. And we do have a great bartender for adult drinks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
She'll come
yeah,
too, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. You know what? Our bartender looks a lot like you. Yeah, maybe you're related. And we'll play bingo. And you and your friends can play, and all the adults in your life can also play. So, what do you think? You feeling a little bit better?
I'm starting to feel better. My backpack feels a little lighter already.
Oh, that's so good. Well, if that doesn't quite do the trick, we also have a beautiful recital. You used to play piano, I've heard.
Not very well.
Yeah, well, this might inspire you to go back to the 88. On October 5th, our own Lily Popova will be doing a recital here on October 5th after service. And then on Saturday, October 18th, this is going to be really super. Bring your friends, Becky. We're having our fall fundraising festival.
Oh boy, have fun and raise money for the church. That sounds great.
Yeah, yeah. So you come back and see me if you still have the back to school blues after that.
And I'll see you September 7th for our back to school lunch and bingo.
You got it.
Hi, thanks. Hello and welcome to everyone here and to those joining us on Zoom. And we have some visitors with us today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. As we begin the ringing of our bells to open our service this morning, we pause to acknowledge and honor the Tongva and other native peoples on whose ancestral homelands we gather today. We add our inspiration and our aspiration, a hope for mending any harm caused by colonization as we offer our healing energies of recognition, reciprocity, and respect. For yesterday, we called to the ancestors of this faith, of this congregation, and of each of our hearts. And on this day, we extend a safe, warm welcome to those gathered here in person, online, and via the recording. And for tomorrow and to all who will come, we prepare a place for you here, and we invite you to join us. And with gratitude, all of our people said, thank you, thank you, thank you. I invite you to stand and sing out for our welcoming song, Gather the Spirit, number 347 in our hymnal. As a symbol of our faith, we light a chalice at each of our gatherings that represents the spirit, the values, and the rich history of Unitarian Universalism. It's a flame that invites us to center our lives in justice, love, and service, as it offers us belonging and holds us in community. And as David Adams comes forward to light our chalice, let's hear these words inspired by Deborah Burrell, titled, "A Flame to Light Our Path." Thank you, David. Two characteristics of fire are that while it consumes, it also casts a bright light. May our chalice flame consume our regrets for the past, the worries we brought with us today, and any seeds of concern or uncertainty toward our future. May it instead cast a bright light for us on our shared continuous path of exploration, joy, and peace. May it be so. I invite you to stand again, please, as we sing our invocation, Spirit of Life, and then we will recite our covenant together.
Spirit of life.
little intro for those visiting us today. Unitarian Universalism is not a creedal faith, but we do like to speak to how we will be in relationship by reciting this covenant that we make with each other each Sunday. Please read along with us as you're comfortable. We affirm that love is the greatest purpose of this congregation. The search for truth is our constant star, and service is our prayer. We pledge our hearts, minds, and hands to challenge injustice with courage, to make choices for a healthier planet, and to live out our Unitarian Universalist values every day as beloved community. Thus do we covenant with each other and with all that is sacred in life. Please be seated and make yourselves comfortable. It is time for our wisdom tale brought to us by Robert.
Good morning, everybody. Today's wisdom tale, some of you might know, it's an excerpt from Wizard of Oz by Frank L. Baum. "How can I get there?" asked Dorothy. "You must walk. It's a long journey through a country that is sometimes pleasant and sometimes dark and terrible. However, I will use all the magic arts I know to keep you from harm." "Won't you go with me?" pleaded the girl, who had begun to look upon the old woman as her only friend. "No, I cannot do that," she replied, "but I will give you my kiss, and no one will dare injure a person who has been kissed by the Witch of the North." She came close to Dorothy and kissed her gently on her forehead. Where her lips touched the girl, they left a round, shining mark, as Dorothy found out soon after. "The road to the City of Emeralds is paved with yellow brick," said the witch, "so you cannot miss it. When you get to Oz, do not be afraid of him, but tell your story and ask him to help you. Goodbye, my dear." The three munchkins bowed low to her and wished her a pleasant journey, after which they walked away through the trees. The witch gave Dorothy a friendly little nod, whirled around on her left heel 3 times, and straightway disappeared, much to the surprise of little Toto, who barked after her loudly enough when she had gone, because he had been afraid even to growl while she stood by. But Dorothy, knowing her to be a witch, had expected her to disappear in just such way, and was not surprised in the least. Toto ran over to the trees and began to bark at the bird sitting there. Dorothy went to get him and saw such delicious fruit hanging from the branches that she gathered some of it, finding it just what she wanted to help out her breakfast. Then she went back to the house, and having helped herself and Toto to a good drink of the cool, clear water, she set about making ready for the journey to the City of Emeralds. "Come along, Toto," she said. "We will go to the Emerald City and ask the Great Oz how to get back to Kansas again." She closed the door, locked it, and put the key carefully in her pocket of her dress. And so, with Toto trotting along soberly behind her, she started on her journey. There were several roads nearby, but it did not take her long to find the one paved with yellow bricks. Within a short time, she was walking briskly toward the Emerald City, her silver shoes tinkling merrily on the hard yellow road. The sun shone bright, and the birds sang sweetly, and Dorothy did not feel nearly so bad as you might think a little girl would, who had been suddenly whisked away from her own country and set down in the middle of a strange land. She was surprised as she walked along to see how pretty the country was about her. There were neat fences all along the side of the road, painted a dainty blue color, and beyond them were fields of grain and vegetables in abundance. And now if the kids can come forward and get our chalice, you guys can sing us on our own little journey.
See you a little later. Deep thanks to each of you for the many ways you have offered your kind and generous gifts that add to our community's well-being. Every one of the gifts that we bring are essential to our strength, our growth, and our sustainability. as a justice-seeking congregation, we have voted and agreed to donate 50% of the donation plate offerings that are not marked as pledges with a charity that aligns with our values. And for the months of July and August, we have been sharing our plate with Immigrant Defenders Law Center. Formed in 2015, they are now Southern California's largest nonprofit deportation defense organization. They offer free legal services to immigrants facing deportation. It is our great honor to support these efforts when it seems there are so few ways that we can help. So thank you for participating with your generous support. It is with all of our combined expressions of love that our financial gifts to the congregation and our non-perishable donations to the Foothill Family Center will now be brought forward and gratefully received. Lily? What's the special music going to be if that was the offertory? Wow. You're blowing us away, Lily. As always. Thank you. That was so lovely. In this congregation, we like to share the things that are happening in our lives. While there is always our own private things that we carry, it's helpful and it builds community that when we come together, we like to share our joys and our sorrows. I have one that was written and left in the basket in the back. It's from Karen. Do you want to raise your hand? Thanks. Karen writes that she is trying to calmly navigate the very upsetting behavior of a newish neighbor. She's praying for patience and improvement. May it be so. And thank you for all of your patience. I'm sure you're being sweet to her, and I'm sorry you're going through that. The next, some of you know about already, but George and I had a pretty traumatic Wednesday morning. Tuesday night, he and I went to the bowl and we left Sophie with the sitter that always takes care of her. And when we picked her up, they said, well, she had a little argument with one of the other dogs. So no big deal, a little nip on her ear, they took care of it. But then in the morning, when she woke up and I saw her, her left eye was swollen shut and very pussy. So I was scared that she had lost her eye. You couldn't see it. And so, needless to say, long story short, after lots of anxiety this week that wasn't welcome for our little baby, she's doing okay. She's on lots of medication and wearing the cone. I said, she'll wear, yeah, but no shame. She's wearing her cone as a crown, we say. So thanks for all your prayers and for those of you who have known about it. And I don't have permission to share, but it happened to someone else this week too. So I don't know what's going on with mean dogs, but there's something. So I invite all of you to join me in a time of prayer, if you would, please. Time of prayer and meditation. It will end with some shared silence, and Lily will play us out as we prepare to sing our gentle song, There is Love. This path of the heart is not one of constantly transcending or upstaging ourselves, ascending and rising above and improving and polishing up who we are. But it's one of descent into the darkness of the moon, the earth, the womb, an opening into relationship with delicious shadow elements that we do not yet know are ours. The path of the dark moon isn't at all like its harsh and heroic sunlit counterpart, blaring at us each day, becoming dangerously intrusive. The moonlit path is unmapped, wild, ever-facing, luring us without any shared knowing about how it's all going to turn out. It has a way of not confirming, but of dismantling our perceptions of a perfect spiritual persona. No promises, no guarantees, no mythical tales, just a sacred lure toward the reorganizing fires of love. Along this path of the lunar, we bear witness as the deepness of the wounded soul is opened and no longer hidden under the shaming of the bandages allowing her tincture to enter. There is a feast laid out before us. It's just a short way down this path. It's sprinkled throughout the rivers, the stars, and the trees. And along the way, we are drawn to the path that is always right in front of us, the path that is everywhere. Beautiful, thank you. Our reading today will be presented for us by Charles Edwards. Come on down. I don't need you to run. No need to run. Charles will be presenting The Path is Everywhere for us, written by Matt Licata.
Good morning. So Mike Licata is a psychotherapist, I think, out of the Boulder, Colorado area. And what I'm reading is part of his book, The Path is Everywhere. Okay. The understanding that the path is everywhere reminds us that the depth and magic of all the sacred world is always already there, buried in our emotions, our bodies, our relationships, and in the natural world itself. Many have grown weary from a long search, exhausted from an endless quest to improve, hold it all together, heal all their wounds, and complete some mythical spiritual journey. But you're not a project to be solved. You are a mystery coming into form. And you have all of the raw materials that you need right now to live a life of profound depth, purpose, and meaning. We hear much about spiritual awakening and the deep joy, clarity, and peace that are its promised fruits. Often ignored, however, are the disappointments of the awakening path and the ways it can shatter our hearts, breaking us open to the reality of all that we are likely to encounter along the way. In our rush to convert the negative to the positive, to manifest everything we believe we want, and to manage our lives into some permanent state of happiness, we lose contact with the reality that the journey of the path to becoming a true human person is messy by nature. The path emerges directly out of the unknown and requires compassionate encounters with the entirety of all that we are. As we journey the path together as fellow travelers, let us commit to embracing both the joy and the heartbreak of the path, and bear witness to the wisdom shining out of our immediate experience, whether it appears as sadness, bliss, despair, or great joy. Grace will appear in both sweet and fierce forms, but it is still grace. Grace will open us to the radiant fullness of being on the path. Sure.
Beautiful. Thank you. It sounded like a path. From his 1915 poem, A Servant to Servants, poet Robert Frost gifted us this segment that you can find about a third of the way in. By good rights, I ought not to have so much put on me, but there seems no other way. Len says, one steady pull more ought to do it. He says the best way out is always through, and I agree to that, or insofar as that I can see no way out but through, leastways for me. Commentaries identify the poem to be written in the voice of Len's unnamed wife, similar to Noah's wife, unnamed. Weary from tasks that are just too much, tasks that don't stay done, we hear her loud, clear, nameless voice that speaks for us with words that clearly sound timely for us, exactly like our own pleas in these tender times. By good rights, I ought not to have all this put on me, but there seems no other way. But the best way out is always through. So with that same determination, we hear that voice from 1915 still speaking to us. If we listen, through it is. And we do well to embody the truth that we are on our way through, and the best way out of all we long to see come to an end. Our shared covenant is to stick together along our best path, knowing it is good to glance around as we go, and to assess and to reassess, to be curious and confident as we each hold the question, is this the path? There has been a theme of pathways in many of our conversations lately. I've met with both the board and the pastoral care team over the past week or so, and we've looked deeply at the path forward together. We've seen the meaningful ways that we're on a path with many tributaries, if you will. There's the path toward the end of my ministry with you when I retire at year's end. It's a path that is both sad and natural and understandable at the same time. It's a path that is paved with invitation, opportunities that will open us to new perspectives as it weaves its way toward a crossroad that leads to another path that you will walk without me. Your continuing path as you embrace a new identity as a lay-led congregation. And note well, it's not a dead end. And it's not a path that you'll be on for very long. It might be a spiral. It might be steep sometimes. But remember, there is a vision and a plan to ensure that you will only walk that path for a short time. And you have what it takes to make certain of that. I have seen that giftedness, that clarity, that interdependence, that growth, that purpose. I've seen you become more and more vital, powerful, team-centered, and life-giving over our 5 years together, but especially over these past few months, as we've had to make important shifts in our congregational life when the path got exceptionally bumpy through no fault of our own. And with each bump, we have to ask, is this the path? There may not be answers that you can hear right now, but do it anyway, and walk it anyway with all your might. Grow and learn as much as you can, and love as much as you can, because that's how you're going to know you're on the path, because you're growing, and you're learning, and you're loving. Another pathway theme has been a reoccurring metaphor that shows us the way. Robert helped to open the way for this one. It is the journey that Dorothy and her new friends took as they set out on their curious adventure into the land of Oz. The yellow brick road is filled with similarities to your path toward the open-ended but limited length of time that you will hold the identity of a lay-led congregation. And while each of the Oz characters endured many challenges, like apple-throwing trees and flying monkeys, for example, their greatest hurdles came because they invested all of their trust and hope in their understanding that the wizard's intervention would be their deliverance. But it turns out that every one of the four friends on the path found their dreams and needs were eventually met by the spiritual gifts that they each had carried with them in their own lives. The wizard's gift to each of them was the same: a deeper awareness of the abilities that they had already had within themselves. Scarecrow's brain, my brain, the scarecrow's brain, the Tin Man's heart, and the lion's courage were all qualities that they possessed, but they didn't acknowledge. In fact, their self-criticism and their misperceptions of their gifts are what blocked their capacity to use the gifts they had. Dorothy's directive from Glinda, the Good Witch, to click her heels and chant the spell 3 times released her limitations and empowered her to use the power she'd had all along. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There is no place like home. And so my words to you, as our paths curve outward and away from one another in December, and you'll hear it often until then, don't assume that you can't thrive, because what you believe matters. Don't say you're less than while you're on your lay-led adventure. And don't be afraid to use your power to become what you need to be and what you want to be for as long as you can be. Hear these words each time you need to remember them. You've always had the power, my dears. You've had it all along. Follow the yellow brick road and look inside yourselves and look around at who is on the path with you and ask together, is this the path? I'd say yes. This is the path. This is the path we're on together, and we're up for this journey. This is the path of change and vision and values and purpose. This is the path of belonging, where we know we belong. This is the path of the heart. This path of the heart isn't one of constantly transcending, as I prayed earlier. Ascending and rising above anyone else, improving and polishing up who we are. The path of the heart is one where we're always curious and always brave, where we're familiar with dissent and not afraid to do hard things and ask deep questions. It's a path that goes straight into the darkness of the moon. And it opens us into relationship with delicious shadow elements. We don't know yet our greatest powers. The path of the heart is unlit, but it is our path. We can't see it yet, but it's who we are. This is who we are. When someone asks, and I ask, point to yourself. Where do you point? Go ahead, point to yourself. Where are you pointing? Who did that? Sean? Path of the heart is like that of the dark moon that we have right now. A very special black moon, because it's the second dark moon within a month. A gift of the cosmos. But it isn't harsh and heroic like the sun is all the time. It's unmapped. It's wild. And it's luring us without any proof about how it's all going to turn out. Our path has a way of not conforming, but dismantling our every perception of perfection, of who we should be. There are no promises, no guarantees, no mythical tales, just a sacred lure and the reorganizing fires of love. Along the path of the lunar, we bear witness as the deepness of our wounded soul is opened and no longer hidden under the shaming of what we have endured. It has all been the path. It's been the path all along, and it's the path now. But there is a feast laid out for us, just a short way down the path. Sprinkled throughout the rivers, the stars, and the trees. And all along the way, we are drawn to this path, the path we've always been on, learning, growing, loving together, right in front of us. Because the path is everywhere. And yes, it's the path. I love you. Let's stand and sing. Bless you. We're going to sing Building a New Way. It's number 1017 in our hymnal. And let us bless each other with our unison benediction. We'll read together. As we extinguish our chalice flame, we take shades light with us. We promise to reflect it as we go out into the week ahead. May our lives be gentle, and may we be held close by the love at our center, seated and enjoy the postlude. Before my closing words, I just want to let everyone know that my work with the family of Vasudev this week has been really so beautiful. And we have a wonderful opportunity to welcome them here into Vasu's home, his spiritual home, and to help them all feel comfortable and loved when they're here. So thank you in advance for everyone that will be participating in the memorial service. The closing words come from Margaret Mead, but don't they always fit? And they're in our hymnal, so they really fit. But never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. So we'll have a wee coffee hour, and then, which is not going to be an hour, a wee coffee moment, and then as you see folks starting to set up for the memorial, if you could just acquiesce to them and see what ways there are that you might be able to help. So thank you.